What's going on, guys and gals? It's 8-Bit Ray from the Gorilla Brain Podcast, and you are listening to the Geek World All-Star Podcast Network.
Broadcasting very fast and very dangerous from the planet Malastare. You are listening to So Wizard.
You're thinking people gonna die?
The only podcast to make the Kessel run in under 12 parsecs.
There'll be no one to stop us this time.
What's going on, everybody? It is time for episode number 313 of the So Wizard Podcast. I'm your host, Joey DiCarlo. My co-hosts are the queen of all nerds, Aubrey Litchfield.
Yeah, I'm here.
And the expert, Mr. Marquis, Marcellus Reagans.
I know this is impossible, but did we all get sexier?
You are listening to So Wizard Podcast, where three friends discuss the world of nerd, podcasting weekly on the Geek World All-Stars Podcast Network. This week, we've got some news to discuss, and then we've got a full review of Season 2 of The Umbrella Academy. Before we get into all that, how is everyone doing? Aubrey, how the hell are you?
I'm living the dream. Got nothing to complain about, nothing to sing about. Just alive.
Well, that's uplifting. All right, Marcellus, how about you?
Yeah, I'm doing all right. I put out a little video this week of one of the headliner videos that I like to make. I tried to streamline it to make it a little bit easier, and it just came out way more difficult than I anticipated, but I got it done. That's the important part. I'm constantly known for starting projects and not finishing them, so I was glad to get this one finished.
Awesome, and we posted that across social media so people can check it out.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to doing another one.
All right. Well, as for me, my friends, the good news is that I was able to go to Target this past weekend on Saturday. I wasn't going to, but I ended up getting stuck at work until about 7:45 in the morning working because it's just enough said. And Hasbro had announced the night before through the official G.I. Joe Twitter account that the new classified figures that were originally street dated for the 14th would now be available on August 1st in store and online. So I was like, not going to go. I was like, fuck it. And then it was only 15 minutes to wait, and there's a Target literally 30 feet from where I work. So I'm like, all right. So I drove over there and sat in my car. And as I'm waiting, some other guy gets out of his car with a shopping cart and like goes up to the door. And then I'm like, oh, fuck. So like I get out, and then a bunch of other people show up. And a lot of them were not there for G.I. Joe figures, but there were probably 4 of us that were. This woman was there. I don't know what the word is. She was preaching about being a Jehovah's Witness.
Okay.
So all of us in line, and oh my God, like, I don't know. I was like going to ask her if I joined, would it help me get G.I. Joe figures this morning, but I did not ask because I was covered in filth. I was tired. I just wanted to get this done with and go home. So we go in, of course, and me and 3 other people like run to the aisle, and there's nothing there.
Oh, wait, did they not put them out, or were they already gone?
They did not have them out. Oh. So we were all just like, oh, God damn it. And then one of the guys that was there was like, well, I'm going to go ask somebody. So we went to customer service, and they were like, yeah, just stay in the aisle. We'll send someone over. So we waited for like 20 minutes, and this guy came over with a scanner, and he scans the tags. He goes, no, they're street dated for the 14th. We can't sell them. And we were like, no, Hasbro said last night that they're available today. Like the official like G.I. Joe accounts, official Hasbro accounts, official Target accounts. Like these aren't like Joe Schmo just deciding this. Like they said you guys can sell them. And you're like, well, I don't know what to tell you. And like, so then these other, not me, the other guys started getting into it with the guy that works there. And he just like walked away. It was like, it's not my decision. I don't make the dates. So then there's 4 of us just standing there, and that we don't know what to do. And then this guy that looked like on The Simpsons, you remember the pimply faced teen?
Yeah.
It was like, your fries are ready, Mr. Burns. Like, he looked like that. I don't know if he was the manager or what, because he looked like he was 12, and he looked like pimply-faced teen from The Simpsons. He comes out of the back room with 2 Cobra Troopers. All I wanted was 1 Cobra Trooper. That's the only one I needed. Derek already got me Beachhead a few days ago, so this was the only one I needed. I mean, I wouldn't mind picking up Roadblock variant, but I don't need it. I needed this Cobra Trooper. This is a need. It's not a want. It's a need. A want is childish. So he only has 2 of them, and he's like, oh, well, this is all we could find in the back room.
Wow.
He's giving us a speech about how they can get in trouble for selling them and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, well, riddle me this. If you can get, quote unquote, in trouble for selling them, why would the official Target Twitter tell us they're available this morning? And he's like, I don't know anything about that. All right. And the problem is we all know that they come in single case packs of 6. Okay. And they have at least 1 case of each character. So there's at least 6 of each one back there. So we know you're lying to us. Like, we know. We are not the people to, like, be trifled with about this stuff. Like, you might be able to pull this stuff over the eyes of, like, some granny or something. But, like, we all know. We even have the DCPI stock numbers so they can look them up easier. So, like, we know. And no, he wouldn't budge. He wouldn't bring them out. This was it. And so the guy that had originally went to the customer service desk stormed off to his car to call corporate. The guy with the shopping cart was like, he's like, I'm out of here. And he left. So it was just me and one other guy. And we both just took 1 trooper and that was it. And we went up to the counter and the guy followed us up to the counter because he was insistent that we were going to scan him and it was going to say street dated and we couldn't buy it. And we just scanned it and it let us buy it and we left. So,
wow.
Hour and a half in Target to get the 1 Cobra Trooper I needed. But yeah, so now I have everything for G.I. Joe Classified. I have everything that's released technically because the 14th hasn't come yet. I still need the Baroness that comes with the motorcycle. I don't know if I'm going to buy that or not yet because it's $40. There's a Roadblock variant in this Target series. I don't really need a Roadblock in a different shirt than I already have, but I might buy it anyway because I'm a nuts. And then I have most of the second wave pre-ordered already through Amazon. So those are good. They're locked in. There's just one Ninja I don't have pre-ordered because it's one a case in the next series. So we'll see. That's going to be the next adventure. But yeah, that was it. I know we were talking about it last week. That was my G.I. Joe adventure for the weekend. I ended up going and ended up getting what I needed. So I was pretty happy.
That's amazing. You could have interviewed those guys while you were standing with them, dude. Get some interviews for the show. How does it feel to be...
No. Should have interviewed the people working at the store. How does it feel to be harassed by 40-something-year-old men looking for action figures?
Exactly.
Actually, I know exactly how that feels. I was polite as punch. I didn't argue with the guy. I was just going to leave. But these other guys kept like pushing and getting different managers over. So I was like, well, I'm going to wait around then because if this ends up working, I'm leaving with a Cobra Trooper.
Mm-hmm. Did you at least turn around and look at the guy when it scanned up and like look in his eyes and be like, there you go. I was right. Fuck you, buddy.
So I start crotch chopping and being like, suck it. No, I just wanted to go home because I hadn't been home since, I worked both jobs Friday into Saturday. So I worked 11 to 3, came home, took a nap, went to work 10 to 7:45 a.m. and then was at Target for an hour and a half. Nuts. So I was barely awake. I needed to go home immediately. But yeah, I was happy. I mean, I told those guys when we first got there, they were all like, they had shopping carts and shit. I'm like, I want 1 trooper. That's it. 1. I don't want a battalion of them. I don't want the whole case. I just want 1. I don't know who these people are that have the room to display. Because there's people on the G.I. Joe groups and stuff on Facebook that I'm in that are like, look at what I got. And they have a setup with like 25 troopers. I'm like, who the fuck has room for that? Or money for that, for that matter. But Jesus, the room that's required. But anyway, that's my story. That's my exciting weekend of G.I. Joes.
Awesome.
But enough about us and enough about embarrassing ourselves at Target. Let's talk some more about us. Marcellus, why don't you tell the listeners where they can find more So Wizard Podcast?
All right, so everybody can go to SoWizardPodcast.com where you will find new episodes every week. You'll find, at some point, movie reviews from yours truly. You'll find some Netflix, Amazon, and Hulu streaming picks from our buddy, the awesome Adam Wallyhawk. A great way to support our tiny little podcast here is by doing your Amazon shopping through the link that we keep right on the website. Let's just say there's some G.I. Joe figures that you want in the future, and you want to order them through Amazon. Go to SoWizardPodcast.com, click on the big A, the big Amazon logo, do your shopping, receive your figures, and that way you'll be helping out our tiny little show. You can also find our social media links there. We have Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, so definitely get at us. You can subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts and give us a 5-star review while you're there. You can also find us on a Stitcher Radio app for your tablet or smartphone, Podbean, Google Play Music, iHeartRadio, Pandora, Spotify. We have a Patreon page where you can support us monthly and receive bonus content from everyone here at the show. And don't forget our YouTube page where videos are going up constantly from Adam Wallyhawk. Shout out to all of our podcasting family in the Geek World All-Stars Podcast and Network. Back to you, Joey.
Take it or leave it, losers.
That was the guy at Target when he comes out with two figures.
2 figures for 4 people. At least just bring 4 out. All right. Well, Marcellus, you tell me we have some news. Let's hear it. Let's hear the news.
Yo, pump it up. It's time for the news. Yo, we getting ready to bring you the news, boy.
All right. So there actually wasn't a lot of news, but there was a couple of things that I wanted to get your guys' opinions on, your hot takes on it. So it looks like we're going to be getting another Scream movie, Scream 5, and they're going to be taking a page out of the Halloween franchise by just calling it Scream. But Scream is bringing back Courtney Cox, David Arquette. Nev Campbell is in negotiations to come back, and it's written by, I think his name is James Vanderbilt. He did Zodiac and he did Murder Mystery on Netflix. Now, I could care less. They've been threatening this movie for a while. I really couldn't give 2 shits about another Scream movie as much as I liked the other ones. But the thing that interested me was that it's going to be directed by the guys that did Ready or Not. So now all of a sudden I'm like, oh, I now my interest is piqued. So my question is, are you guys a fan of the other Scream movies, and are you looking forward to another one now that we know that some talented filmmakers are going to be behind the camera? Let's start with our resident horror expert, Aubrey.
Yeah, I'm not too excited about this. I haven't watched any of the Scream movies. I think I started the first one and I was like, yeah, no. And so I don't really care about this.
You haven't? I figured in the time frame that those came out that you would definitely at least have watched one of them. Like, none of your friends made you watch that?
Nope.
Wow. All right, but you liked Ready or Not, correct?
I did.
Okay.
But I just, some dude in a mask stabbing people, not my thing.
Mm-hmm. Understandable. So we're going to put a pin in that one. We might need a guest host if we decide to do that show, do that for the show. But, so that's kind of a no from Aubrey. All right, Joey, how about you, dude? How do you feel about the Scream franchise? And are you ready for another one from some somewhat cool directors?
Franchise? What? All right. I love the first Scream. I think it is amazing. It's a great movie. Spoilers for, God, how old is this movie? 20 years, Mark?
It's got to be more than that, yeah.
23 years? I don't know. I know me and my wife had not been dating very long when it came out. So, spoilers, I was pretty upset that they killed Drew Barrymore off right in the beginning of the movie, as she was my 90s waifu. But that was an amazing bit of pre-internet marketing as well, because they had her right up front on the poster. They had her up front in all the marketing and interviews. And you had no idea when you walked in opening weekend that she was going to get killed in the first 5 minutes. So that was something you could not do today in the internet-based world that we live in. But that was great. Yeah, the first Scream is amazing. I remember liking the second one. I think I saw it only the one time I saw it in the theater. I remember going to see it, and it was absolutely fucking packed at the movie theater. And I want to say this was before they had stadium seating.
Yeah, probably.
It was when it was just a box with seats on the floor. Because I remember they had, I don't know if they were employees or just fans that were dressed up like the Ghostface Killer running around scaring people during the movie.
That sounds like Aubrey's worst nightmare.
Yeah, seriously. But yeah, I remember going to see Scream 2 with my wife, who was my girlfriend at the time, and some friends, and we all loved it. We had a great time, a packed movie theater. I know I saw Scream 3. I don't remember anything about it. I remember not really liking it.
Mm-hmm.
I never watched the TV series. I never saw Scream 4. So, I mean, we're not really talking about some legendary franchise. It's a lot like Aliens or Predator. 1 or 2 really good movies and then a lot of shit. So, I don't know. It's cool, I guess. 90s nostalgia. Bring back everybody. Get a new movie out of it. Like you said, I'm more excited to see what the guys from Ready or Not do with it, because I thought that was one of the best movies of last year. And they can't do worse than what's been done before at this point. So Let's do it. Bring it on, Aubrey. We'll see you in 2022 for Scream 5.
Maybe that'll give me enough time to prepare.
Aubrey, don't sweat it. Don't sweat it. We're not going to force you to watch that movie. We'll actually, we'll take a look at the trailer and see how you feel after that.
Aubrey, what's your favorite scary movie?
I'm somewhat excited to see it. I know number 4 got a bad deal. A lot of people didn't like it, but I enjoyed it. It was all about reboots and remakes. So they kind of took the piss out of remakes, which I thought was fun. So yeah, I enjoyed Scream 4. Scream 4 was 2011. So that was a long ass time ago.
Well, I got to ask a question then. If we're getting a new Scream movie, does this mean we get a new scary movie?
I'm sure it's right around the corner. I'm sure they're furiously typing away jokes right now to get ready for it.
Right. I'm sure because there's a lot of effort put into those movies.
Yeah, turned down the opportunity to make easy cash? I think not.
Mm-hmm. So would this be Scary Movie 5 or 6? I don't even know what number.
7?
I don't even know. All right. So.
I'm looking it up right now. Scream 1 was 1996. So that was 1 year after I started dating my wife.
Thanks.
That is a long time ago, brother. 5, yes. This would be the 6th scary movie.
Oh, so they're going to come out the gate first then, just so they could beat Scream. All right. So then the other big news that happened this week, which kind of surprised a lot of people. We've all been waiting for Mulan to come to theaters, or any movie for that matter to come back into theaters. And they finally announced a release date for Mulan. It's going to be coming out on September 4th, but on Disney Plus, with a new thing that they're doing called Premiere Access. So the movie will be available for $29.99, and you will be able to stream the movie through Disney Plus as long as you keep the service. So this isn't unlike the other video on demands where you pay $20 and you watch it, you get it for 24 or 48 hours and then it's gone. This one, as long as you keep Disney Plus, you'll be able to watch the Mulan movie as many times as you want, which I think is unique, at least from my aspects. I don't spend too much time on a streaming services, but that seems like a cool idea for to get the movie out, get it out to the people that really, really want it, and not have anyone jump through big hoops to get to it, and not risk their lives to watch it. So Mulan, September 4th, for the low price of $29.99. What do you guys think about this? And is this something that you think you might want to get, Joey?
Mulan coming free to Fire Stick September 4th. Well, we're going to do it on the podcast, so it is what it is. That's what that comes down to. It is what it is. I can understand it as a quote-unquote family movie. The $30 price tag doesn't scare me away. All right, and I know this might be a question in a few minutes. If this was Black Widow, knowing that me, my wife, my daughter, and my son would all be sitting down to watch it, that's about like a $60 trip to the movies. Mm-hmm. So $30 to watch it in the living room, not a problem at all. And $30 watching in the living room, guaranteed a full HD stream. That's not somebody's phone. You don't hear people coughing during it. Great. No problem at all. The problem with Mulan for me is that I was the only person that was going to go see it strictly because we're going to watch it for the podcast.
Right. Right.
In the way pre-coronavirus that would work when it was a movie the kids don't want to see and I'm only going to see it for the podcast would be, come home from work on a Thursday morning, take a shower, eat breakfast, go to the very first showing of the day at the movie theater, which is usually like 10:30, 11. See the movie for a matinee price, like $5 or something, go home and go to bed. So all of a sudden taking what was a $5 to $8 proposition to $30 is a lot. That seems like a lot. It's such a high price. I don't know. And I don't have a problem with the $30 price tag in theory, as long as it's a movie that I can justify the whole family watching. But for something just for me, it's not going to happen. I'll be honest with you, I'm probably going to watch this on Fire Stick because I know within seconds of it hitting Disney Plus, it'll be on there, and it is what it is. That's that. It is what it is. We got to watch it for the podcast, so God bless.
Fair enough. Now, Aubrey, how about you? How do you feel about a $29.99 price tag for Mulan?
Honestly, that's the price of just me and Noah going, so I'll take it. And I don't have to pay for popcorn, and I don't have to pay for candy because I already have all that. Nice.
Now, here's my question for you guys, and for actually any listeners out there at all. We've seen the Disney remakes happen already. Like, we know what we can compare animated Beauty and the Beast to live action Lion King, Aladdin, Cinderella. Seeing the quality of those movies, it's almost like you're better off watching an animated version. Does $30 seem like really, really high, considering that you'll watch the movie and based on all the other animated movies, based on all the other live action remakes, you're pretty much watching the same movie that you've already seen, like the animated version? Does $30 seem like a little bit too high? Do you think they should have brought it down a little bit based on past remakes? Aubrey.
So I like Beauty and the Beast.
Okay.
But that seems to be the only live action that I do enjoy. Jungle Book wasn't too bad. Lion King leaves a sour taste in my mouth, and I don't even remember what the next one was. Oh, Aladdin. I didn't mind Aladdin, actually. So I'm at like a 50-50 rate with live action Disney movies.
Okay.
I feel like $30 is a little bit too much. I'm still not mad about it because it would be the same price, if not more, if we actually went to the movie theater.
Now, would you feel bad if this was the exact same situation, but instead of Mulan, it was Aladdin? If you had to pay $30 to watch Aladdin, would you still feel?
I would not have been mad about doing that. I saw Aladdin in theaters, so I paid $30 anyway. But I liked Aladdin. I don't think I'm going to really like Mulan because I don't like the changes that have been discussed that they've made to it.
Yep.
So it's probably going to leave a sour taste in my mouth that I'm paying $30 for it, but I would have been paying it anyway, I guess.
All right. So, Joey, I know it's up in the air whether how much you're going to be spending on this movie. We're not gonna quote you on anything, but would you be upset if the same situation, like if coronavirus had happened like years ago and we were going through the same thing for like Beauty and the Beast? Like, would the $30 have pissed you off?
I wouldn't have seen that movie.
So we just wouldn't have done that movie for the episode.
Well, we wouldn't have done it anyway. We didn't do it anyway. So
we didn't. Then why the fuck did I go see it then?
I don't know.
I thought we did Beauty and the Beast.
Nah, I've never seen that movie. I hate Disney movies, to be quite honest with you. Like, I've never been a Disney movie fan.
So why are we doing Mulan then?
Because it looks cool. Look, there's only so many straight-to-Shudder horror movies you can do before the numbers hit rock bottom here. Anyway, yeah, that was part of my excitement about Mulan was it doesn't look anything like the cartoon. It looks more like baby's first wushu movie. So, as Amanda, So Wizard Podcast senior political correspondent Amanda said on Twitter, yeah. So that was what the interest was for me. Was it looked kind of like a Chinese action movie, and I was interested in that and interested in seeing how they made that palpable to what should be a audience of like 8-year-old girls. So
right,
but yeah, I liked Aladdin. It was cool, but I don't know if I would have liked it if I paid $30 for it. I probably paid like, you know what though? Going with Aubrey said, you know, I saw it with my son and we got snacks. So I probably paid about $30+ to go see it anyway. So and again, it just comes back to what I was saying before. If it's a movie that just I am watching and I'm smuggling in an energy drink or a soda and sitting down in the movie theater for $5 matinee, it's a lot harder pill to swallow to spend $30. You know, if it's something where me and the kids were going to watch it anyway, me and the kids or my wife were going to watch it anyway in the theater, not to imply that Jen goes to the movie theater because she hasn't been since The Dark Tower. And that was the first time she went in like 6 years, but Jen hates the movies. You know what I'm saying? Like it's all cost analysis. So if this is going to be the thing going forward, it's going to be on a movie by movie basis.
Right.
Really, like I can't say that like I would be interested in every single, you know, we do some weird movies sometimes. We'll do some obscure movies. We do some stuff that maybe is not super, like we watched Kirsten Stewart is Underwater. There's a good example. Like, you know, was that the most popular movie in the world that week? No. It was a new release. It was a genre release. We did it for the podcast. We had a great time with DD Sweets, blah, blah. Now, if you're telling me the three of us, we're going to spend $90 total to watch Underwater with Kirsten Stewart, we're doing something else that week. I'm sorry.
That's right.
So, you know, I'm hoping that this doesn't become the norm going forward, thanks to coronavirus, because we're going to need a lot more Patreons.
Well, this is kind of a test thing. They're throwing it out there. They're going to analyze it, get the numbers back, and see where it goes. You know, someone did post, you know, if they were doing the same thing with Black Widow, would you pay $30 for Black Widow to be on Disney Plus? And I was like, before you even said Disney Plus, I'm like, yes, I'll pay $30 for Black Widow. I don't care if it was in a Mr. Potato Head. That's fine. I'll still watch it.
I'm ready to subscribe to Black Widow's OnlyFans. Like, let's go.
So we'll see. We'll see. I do think the saving grace of this whole thing is that hopefully the movie's good and families that love Mulan would want to watch it over and over again. You know, you want to have the Trolls thing where a parent pays $20 to rent it for 48 hours and then the kids are like, again. Before you know it, Trolls has made $100 off you.
Well, if you have Disney Plus and you buy Mulan, as long as you have Disney Plus, you have the rights to watch Mulan. So
right. So that's gonna save the parents a lot, which I think is cool for Disney.
And I know I see a lot of people poo-pooing Disney Plus a lot in some of the comments, but I think if you have kids, and Aubrey, you could probably speak to this too, you probably use Disney Plus a lot more than like Mark would.
I do. It's on Noah's tablet and everything.
Nice. I'm not gonna admit to how many times I watch Rise of Skywalker with Disney Plus.
Oh, I forgot about that. You should be watching Gravity Falls, but...
All right, so, we'll see. So tune in that week, September 4th, and we'll give you our hot take on Mulan. I'm very excited to support this movie. I've been waiting a long time for it, and I think it's going to be good. So I'm definitely, I have no problem shelling out $30 for it. All right, so that's it. That's going to be it for the news for this week.
All right, well, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to talk all about the Umbrella Academy.
Every Sunday night at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific, tune into Third Eye Cinema, your source for in-depth discussion of cult cinema with a focus on film that matters. Cult, grindhouse, drive-in, independent, and underground film from the dawn of the talkies through the early 90s. This is a forum where we explore genre film and music from around the world, in-depth conversation and career analysis with directors, actors, and musicians, and open discussion on films that matter, those that fall outside the mainstream corporate film by boardroom committee. These are the province of the auteur, the visionary, the dreamer, the outsider. None of that direct that passes for mainstream film these days. This is all about the glory days of independent cinema from all over the world. Any of the hotbeds of obscure, oddball, or generally wild cinema available on DVD from the dawn of the medium to this very day. Join us as we delve deep into the cinematic netherworld here on Third Eye Cinema. Sundays at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific on the Big Papa Online Network on Blog Talk Radio.
And we are back. All right, guys. Now, this is a momentous occasion for So Wizard Podcast. We all had a chance to watch Umbrella Academy, and we all finished the season. So none of this, I watched half an episode of Warrior Nun. Not that I blame you, but So we all finished it. So as always, we're going to do some non-spoiler talk, and then we will jump into spoilers, delineating that with a sound drop in case you haven't finished it yet and you just want to know our impressions. First off, Aubrey, you liked the first season, correct?
Yes, I did.
All right. Have you ever read the comic books?
No, I did see them. Well, I saw the graphic novels at Barnes & Noble, and I thought about buying them, but then I was like, eh.
They're not very good.
Yeah. I didn't think that they would be, because I thought that the idea of Ellen Page's character, Vanya, seemed really stupid by having, like, an actual violin body. So I felt like it was just going to ruin it for me.
All right. Marcellus, what about you? You liked season 1.
I did like season 1. The only thing is I could not remember why. Like, when season 2 was coming up, I'm like, I know I watched it and I know I didn't hate it, but I honestly don't remember what happened to it. So I definitely needed a refresher before I dove into season 2. But yeah, I liked it. I like season 1.
All right. And did you ever read the comics?
Not at all. Not at all. And not to say that I'm, against musicians making comic books or any person changing occupations or genres, but I'm not a My Chemical Romance fan. So whenever it was advertised from the guy from My Chemical Romance, I'm like, I don't give a shit. That's not enough to make me want to pick up a book. And it's one of those things where I'm actually kind of glad I waited for the TV show.
Yeah. All right. I remember us watching season 1. We did that episode with Tim Jones.
Yeah.
And I remember he liked it as well, too. I loved season 1. So I'm right there with you guys. I read, so this is a funny story. When the comics first came out, I bought the first miniseries, but I didn't read it until I had all the issues. And then I read half of the first issue and went, nope. And put it right in the long box. And it sat there for, God, I want to say like 14 years until the hype for this started coming out. And then I flipped all of them on eBay for like 10 times what I paid for them.
Nice.
So, thank you. Thank you, Umbrella Academy. The comic is, it's not great. The art is phenomenal. And as you can tell from the TV series, the idea is great. The kernels of ideas are great. But as a writer, Gerard Way is a great idea man. Yep. It's really an artsy fartsy Sandman type of thing. And that's not my thing to start. And it's not as well done as Sandman, obviously, because he's not Neil Gaiman. So it's all over the place. It's really hard to follow. And it's not my thing. I didn't like it at all. I feel like as a writer, I know you don't like musicians as writers, Mark Ellis, but he's a great idea person. And he created Penny Parker for Into the Spider-Verse. So he has great ideas. They just don't do a good job of writing them himself. So I do happen to, I don't want to say I'm a fan of My Chemical Romance, but I did enjoy some of their songs because there was a point in time where Janine was obsessed with that band. So I had to listen to it all the time. Should probably be embarrassed to admit that now, but let's get the impressions of season 2. Aubrey, non-spoiler, what did you think of season 2?
I really liked season 2. I liked how it ended. I liked the complications in it. I thought it was really good.
All right. Marcellus, what about you?
Yeah, I really liked season 2 also. It's one of those things where, it's like, all right, let me just bank through a couple of these episodes for the podcast and, just so I can get my feet wet, see what's going on with the show. And it was one of those shows where, the credits start rolling and it's like next episode and you can see the little bar like moving over and I'm like, do I want to stop it? I didn't want to stop it at all. I'm like, just let it go. Just let it play.
All right. Well, I hated it.
That's not true.
No, it's not true at all. I absolutely fucking loved this. I thought it was even better than season 1. And as a bonus, we got to see Ellen Page's feet in it. So that was a positive. I'm kidding. Am I kidding? I don't know. I guess you'll have to make that decision on your own. But no, I thought it was fucking awesome. I really, really liked it. I was in the same boat as Mark. I have been working like crazy. So I didn't know if I was going to get through the whole season. And I was just like, next episode. I'm like, I could be a little tired at work tonight. Next episode. And I finished it in 2 days. So it worked out. It was good. We had a good time watching it. So I guess, does anyone have anything non-spoiler to say?
Nope.
I would
Mark?
say if you like the first season and you haven't gotten around to watching the second season yet, I would say stop what you're doing and just start watching the second season, because I think it actually is. I think it's better executed than the first season.
All right. Well, let's do it. Let's drop the drop and let's get into spoilers for Umbrella Academy Season 2.
Spoiler alert! I had seen the future and I had to prevent it.
All right. Aubrey, things you liked. Season 2 Umbrella Academy. Hit me with it.
I really like 5. I think that 5 is probably one of my favorite characters, if not my favorite character. Klaus is a very close second. The two of them, Klaus makes me laugh the entire season. Like, the whole time I am laughing because he is just such a mess. And 5 has this action to him that's just phenomenal. He's outwardly, appearance-wise, the youngest looking one. However, he is also like the deadliest, and the character dynamics are just phenomenal.
He's technically the oldest, too.
Yeah. Like, the whole idea behind them is just awesome. The ending was great. I can't wait to see that. Their dad being like a lizard creature at one point too. Like, that was awesome. There was just so many curveballs in it, and it made it so interesting.
Awesome. What about you, Marcellus?
Again, like Watchmen, if I started to name all the things that I like, this would be like a 4-hour episode. But I will say one of the things that I was worried about after I did a recap and watched the first season, you go through the whole first season, and the last episode is they're trying to stop the apocalypse, and the season ends on a cliffhanger. So even though I enjoyed the journey, it didn't feel like a solid ending to me. It was just like, tune in next year for season 2. And I was worried about this one because I was enjoying it so much, and as I'm getting towards the end, I'm like, God, I have a feeling they're just gonna leave it on a big cliffhanger, and I would have spent this whole time watching the show and still not feel satisfied at the end of it. So one of the things that I'm so glad about, that I loved, is that it actually feels like a full arc, and it leaves on a cliffhanger too. So you get the best of both worlds. But I didn't feel jaded, or I'm not jaded. I didn't feel pissed that we got to the end of it and I still needed more, and I was unsatisfied. So they did an amazing job writing the season. I love the setup. I love all of the characters. I love all of the things that they had to deal with. I love the new characters. Lila. I loved her from the very beginning. I loved Ben's arc in the story. I thought he was amazing. And the guy that plays Klaus, like, his character is very eccentric. And you would think after a couple of seasons that at some point that would get annoying, just his attitude and the way that he moves about. But something about that character and the guy that plays him, I was not bored at all. I love that character. He instantly rose to the top of the list of being my favorite character. So, I really enjoy Klaus in this season. But yeah, the whole thing is, I can't believe how good it was.
Yes, very much so. I'm in agreement with you guys. This is kind of a gush session, I guess, for Umbrella Academy Season 2, because I thought it was phenomenal. I loved that all the characters got stuff to do, and everybody got an equal spotlight. I think Season 1 focused on Vanya a lot. It's been like a year or two since we watched it, but I felt... Am I wrong? Mark, you said you recently rewatched it?
I watched a few of the episodes from season 1. Like, I watched the last episode, like one in the middle, and then like some of the very first one.
Okay. And that makes sense, because really that's the crux of the whole first season, is her and her powers causing the apocalypse. But it felt like a lot of the other characters kind of got short shift a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Not a ton, but a little bit. Whereas this season, it felt like every single person had a storyline going on, and it all interconnected and then came together at the end. So I thought that was awesome. I liked Allison's storyline a lot, and with her being married. I liked Luther's storyline a lot. Like Aubrey said, I love 5. Even just the way the actor like stands, like makes him look like he's like a 50-something-year-old man in the body of a kid. Like just you know what I'm saying? Like the way he stands sideways and kind of like shakes his head, like looks at them, like it's like a character actor type thing of being an old man in a TV series.
Yep.
But it's a little kid. It's fucking phenomenal. Yeah, and I thought everything was really cool. The new characters, I liked Lila a lot. I thought she was a cutie pie. She had the great British accent. And the fights were phenomenal. When they fought in the hallway with the Swedish guys, that was awesome. That was really good. Yeah, everything was awesome, man. I really enjoyed Ben, and I loved Klaus constantly quoting like 90s music lyrics to his cult.
That was one of my favorite parts, was his thing. Don't go chasing waterfalls.
Right. But then it was even better when Ben quoted Backstreet Boys to them later on. So I fucking fell out of the chair laughing. I couldn't believe that. I wasn't prepared for that. And then the song plays and I was fucking dying. But yeah, as always, great musical choices. They actually played the Interrupters at one point in the show, which is one of my favorite bands. So that was pretty awesome too. And yeah, man, everything was great. All the storylines were great. The Handler, I was kind of wary, like when she first came back, like, how is she still alive? What? And then like her storyline was great, and it all made sense. So can't complain. But yeah, I just thought it was fucking phenomenal. So what about things you didn't like? I know we've been gushing a little bit here. Aubrey, is there anything you didn't like about the series?
Allison is my least favorite character. I feel like her.
Ooh, where's the sound drop?
Who's this man?
Her stories are always like super dependent on other people being there for her. Like, she can never handle being an independent person, which is weird because she has a strong personality. Like, you would think she wouldn't be so dependent on her ex-husband and Luther, and then now her new husband. Mm-hmm. And, like, she's the only one that gets there and is somehow married already. And in the last season, she had gotten married. She was supposed to be in love with Luther. She had a child, and there was that whole dynamic. And when we left off, her and Luther were working through their past and the affection that they had for each other. And she just kind of like, peace, Luther. I found this new man, and I'm gonna be with him. And I don't really like that part of her story arc. Is always really obnoxious to me. Ellen Page, Vanya's character.
Tread lightly.
Like, it was cool. I really enjoyed the twists there, and I enjoyed that story. There was just something about it that didn't feel genuine. It felt like Ellen Page, it requested that she be bisexual because she is a lesbian in real life, and they were like, okay, we can write that in, and it wasn't like genuine to the character. So that was like with Klaus, it was genuine to the character. I wasn't bothered by it or anything, but then I feel like this was such a turn when she had some boyfriend in the last season. You didn't really get that idea from her, and it wasn't really touched upon. It's just like, oh, by the way, hey, I like women too. I don't know. I just wish it was more, it felt more genuine.
I was going to say, I actually agree a little bit with you, Aubrey, but the other side of that is, they did season 1. I'm saying like the production company, they did season 1, and then they're doing season 2. And then the options are, okay, we can pick up the comic books and do this story, which according to Joey might not have been that interesting, or we can do whatever we want to do. And how about we do a Back to the Future and everybody goes to the 60s? And I'm sure, some actors are probably like, I want to do the civil rights. And Ellen Page was like, well, I'm gay, so I want to do a gay love story. So I'm sure they're like, yeah, that's fine. We'll do it. I'll admit it did seem kind of steered in that direction just for the actors themselves, but like there's really no other options. If they look at the comic book, they probably would have been like, nah.
They do go back to the 60s in Dallas in the comic book. It just is not like this at all.
Nice.
Anyway, Marcellus, what did you not like about this season of Umbrella Academy?
I didn't like how convenient some of the things were. I mean, it's fine when you're dealing with a TV show where there's a fish with a human body. You gotta, put some things aside. But, the fact that they all landed in the same alleyway, which is fine. But number 5 just happens to find a guy who not only has been watching each member appear in an alleyway, but has been keeping tabs on them throughout the years, just making 5's search like that much easier. I'm like, man, that's convenient. I mean, good for him, but that's kind of convenient. And I didn't like the fact that they killed Elliot, like gruesomely, like horribly. I liked Elliot, and I thought, I mean, as much as I just said how convenient it was that he was there, I liked him being there, and I was hoping that he would get to, do a little bit more, or maybe get hurt, but not die horrifically. That was brutal. That I didn't like. And I didn't like Klaus vomiting up Ben. That scene just made me, I was sick to my stomach during that whole scene. But other than that, no other issues at all.
All right. You know what? I am really pressed to find anything I didn't like about the series. I don't know. I almost felt like it could have used another episode or two. I just didn't want it to end. I can completely empathize with Ray wanting to marry Allison immediately after meeting her.
Sure.
She's hot. But yeah, I mean, I thought it was great. I didn't really have any problems with it. Sometimes, you know what? I think sometimes a tiny bit of the humor was misplaced when they had young 5 and old 5 interacting, and there's a lot of farting going on.
Oh yeah. I'm assuming that was in a comic book too.
I don't know. I never got that far in the books, but I get it, and they like spelled out like why that would be happening, and it makes sense, But it started to feel excessive after a little bit. So, and I watched the whole thing with captions on, so it'd always be like old 5 farts, new 5 farts.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, okay. Yeah, I'm trying to think of anything I didn't really like. I agree with you. I was sad that Elliot got like brutally murdered. Olga for Olga.
But the fact that they picked up the phone book and called Olga for Olga, it's like, we know what you did.
Yeah, I mean, I actually thought that was hilarious, but again, it was just like a weird, like, off to the side joke. It was like 5 minutes on a joke when like the end of the world is coming, so it was a little weird. But yeah, I'm hard pressed to find anything I didn't like about it. I know you guys. I will agree that the storyline with the autistic kid's mom being gay kind of came out of nowhere, especially for it being set in the 60s. I feel like people were probably way more uptight about that stuff, like even more uptight than they showed them being. So I don't know, like how that would that even happen? I don't know. I didn't live in the 60s, but it just seems a little crazy. But hey, whatever. Ellen Page is awesome. So
yeah, dude, there's a fish with a human body. Certain things just like
right. Yeah. So anything else anybody wants to talk about the Umbrella Academy? I loved when 5 killed all those people with the axe.
Mm-hmm.
That was awesome. I wish I could watch more of that.
I love Diego's obsession with trying to save JFK. Like that's all he wanted to do. And Team Zero, I thought was pretty funny too. And I just loved the end. I love like the whole big finale of the big battle between all of them. I thought once you learned what Lila's powers were, I just loved her even more. So yeah, it actually had a really, really good ending.
I was kind of upset. I'll be honest with you. I was kind of upset, you guys, when Ben died. I mean, good for him because he'd been a ghost for 17 years following Klaus around, which couldn't have been great. And he finally got to die. But like I wanted him to get his body back somehow. I kept waiting, like they're going to figure out some way to make him a person again. So
I think that would have been a good twist too.
It was such an emotional scene though when he, gets to say goodbye to her, to his sister, the only one who like defended her like in the past. And when he asked for that hug, oh my God, It's so good. I was so glad that they gave him a good story.
Oh, I don't get me wrong. It was really well done. I just selfishly wanted him to just get a body and be part of the team again. But it looks like he's going to have a body because we got our cliffhanger ending. Aubrey, what did you think of the cliffhanger ending?
I really liked it. I can't wait to see what happens in the next season because I thought it was really cool and interesting. A complete butterfly effect. You change one thing, like the mom walking out on the dad, and this whole change happens.
I don't know if they can ever get back to the timeline that they were in originally at this point. I mean, time travel is so fucked in just about every different type of thing that you go to see. Every type of movie, every TV show has different rules for time travel. God, Mark, have you ever seen the movie Primer?
No, I don't think I have.
It's a super micro low budget movie about time travel. And really, to understand it, you have to go look at the internet and see this charts and graphs that they made about how it works.
No, thank you.
I would still recommend it. I know we're doing recommendations, but that's a good movie, especially for how cheap it was made. Mark, what did you think of the cliffhanger ending?
I love the ending. I love the fact that there's a whole new team of superhero. I don't know. Would they be kids at this point? Would they be adults? I don't know. And I love the fact that one of them is just a floating green cube. I don't know what that's about, but I fucking love it. And I love that the dad is still alive and he's a complete asshole. Oh, I can't wait for season 3. I was very, very, very excited and very glad to see Ben back and that whole setup for season 3.
Yeah, like I said, I got my wish. Ben's back and he's a person, but he looks like a completely different person because he has K-pop hair and a scar. So.
Yeah, I was thinking more of Tobey Maguire Spider-Man 3 hair.
Oh no, he's gonna start dancing. And I did love the Team Zero dance scene; was fantastic this season. So let's wrap it up. Let's get a score out of 5. 0 being the worst, 5 being the best. Aubrey, what do you got for Umbrella Academy season 2?
I'm going to give it a 4.5 because I did enjoy it. There was just a couple of things that I could have taken or left. I was bored with Ellen Page and I was bored in some parts.
You're all in for season 3?
Yes.
All right, Marcellus, what about you?
Yeah, I'm right there with Aubrey. 4.5 out of 5. It's so good. I can't give it a 5.5. It's not perfect, but it's damn close. And I'm ready for season 3. I'm ready tomorrow.
All right. Well, I'm going to go out there and defend my former personal MySpace friend, Ellen Page, and give this show a 5 out of 5. It's like Mark said, it's not perfect, but it is goddamn close enough to perfect for me to say 5 out of 5. I fucking loved this. I cannot wait for season 3. Man, I hope they don't fuck it up. We've had 2 really good seasons. They're on a really good roll right now. Let's keep it going. This is fucking awesome. I thought this year for television show of the year was going to be real easy after I watched all The Last Dance, and then I watched Stargirl, which was really good, but not great enough to overcome that. And then this is pretty fucking awesome. So now all of a sudden I have a lot of thinking to do when it comes to the end of the year for TV show of the year. And guess what? We're not even done with the year yet. So let's see what happens. But yeah, Umbrella Academy season 2. It sounds like we all loved it. We all suggest you check it out. Let us know what you think if you've watched it or you're going to. So let's wrap it up before we tap it up, and let's get some recommendations for the listeners out there. Aubrey, what do you got?
I recommend everybody go on Amazon Prime and watch The Wild and Wonderful Whites of West Virginia. It's a documentary about this family in West Virginia. They're in Boone County, West Virginia. Their last name is White, and apparently they're notorious for being just dysfunctional. It was like watching a family reunion on TV. It was just phenomenal. I felt like I was at home. It's like watching Tiger King in Pittsfield with my family as the characters.
Yikes.
It was just awesome.
Yikes. All right. What about you, Marcellus?
Yeah, I don't know if that sold it, Aubrey. I'm a little bit scared now. I'm telling you the truth. So I will also recommend you go to Amazon Prime and check out a movie called Bad Samaritan. It's starring starring Robert Sheehan, who played Klaus in Umbrella Academy. Bad Samaritan, I actually did see this in theaters a while ago. It's a great concept. It's not an amazing movie, but he's really good in it. Watching Umbrella Academy just made me appreciate his acting even more. So Bad Samaritan, it's Klaus and it's David Tennant. And it's about a kid who works as a valet at a restaurant. And when the rich people come, he goes to park their car, but he actually takes the car to their house and robs them. And one house he goes to, he finds a surprise. So it's on Amazon Prime. And it's called Bad Samaritan.
All right. Well, I will suggest that you go to SoWizardPodcast.com, where you can find the podcast every week. Links to all our social media accounts on the right-hand side of the page. Movie reviews, streaming picks, so much more. SoWizardPodcast.com. Don't forget to subscribe to us on iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, just about anywhere under the sun you find podcasts. We will be there. Check out our YouTube channel. Go to YouTube, search So Wizard Podcast. There's hours of exclusive free content on there. Trailer reactions, unboxings, tons of coverage from Comic-Cons last year if you missed leaving the house. Don't forget our Patreon, patreon.com/So Wizard Podcast. You can monetarily support the show and get extra exclusive episodes. The fund starts at $1 a month. This month is the only way to hear our review of Hamilton from Disney+. Last month was Watchmen, and then before that was The Five Bloods and some other stuff that we didn't talk about on the main show. So jump on that if you want to get some more So Wizard in your ear and help us out as well. My suggestion is you go onto YouTube and subscribe to Brie Larson's new channel. It is her making videos talking about things that she's doing in her life during coronavirus lockdown, including playing Animal Crossing. And this past week, she released a video of her doing her workout. So, you know what? Woman Crush of the Year 2019, doing a yoga workout. I am all in. But that is going to do it for episode 313. I got it right. 313 of the So Wizard Podcast. I've been your host, Joey DiCarlo. My co-hosts have been the queen of all nerds, Aubrey Litchfield.
Hello, goodbye.
And the expert, Mr. Marquis Marcellus Reagans.
Let's go Team Zero. Everybody have a good week. Wakanda forever.
We'll see you guys next week. Remember, don't go chasing waterfalls. Good journey.